guys, Coach Becca here. As a reminder, I'll do the whole workout with you. We'll always do reps of 12 and we'll do 2 sets of every movement. Welcome to Glutes and Core. Grab your water or your coffee and let's get moving. You'll need a kettlebell or a dumbbell or any form of resistance really that you have, as well as a bench or a chair for today's workout. Let's get to work, guys. As a reminder, again, we're going to do 2 sets of 12 movements. So I'm going to show you 2 exercises at a time and then we'll repeat them. We'll always stretch in between. First, we're going to do a bridge to a diagonal reach. Here's your demonstration, and you can jump in with me here. Lift your hips, roll onto one shoulder, and reach diagonally across your body. This exercise trains glutes, core, as well as exercising your spine, so a little bit of mobility along with a little bit of glute and core strength. As I mentioned, we're going to do an exercise and then we'll stretch for 15 to 30 seconds in between. Our focus today is strengthening your glutes and core as well as flexibility. We're almost there. Great job. We're going to do a forward bend here for 15 seconds. So forward fold, stretching out your hamstrings and lower back, reaching as close as you can towards your toes. We'll go right back to those glute bridge reaches after this. Take some deep breaths while you're here. And let's do round 2, bridge to reach. Lift your hips, rotate onto one shoulder, reach across. Think about crushing a walnut between your glutes, or squeezing hard or bearing down in your glute and core muscles as you strengthen those really key muscles. We're getting nice spinal mobility here by adding in that diagonal reach. Try to breathe evenly, exhaling as you lift your hips up. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Doing great so far. Excellent job. And let's do round 2 of that forward bend before we move on to our next exercise. By the name of this workout video, you know we're really focused on your butt and your core, but we're really also focused on your flexibility. So we're working in lots of stretching today. Excellent job. All right, up next, we're going to do plank elevators. I'll show you several options. First option is on the knees. You're going to lower down to your elbows and then push back up to your hands. We're going to do 6 on the right side, starting here. This is level 2. Push up, up, and then come down, down. Always leading with the same arm. Now, if you can't do a plank because of a shoulder injury, I want you to hold a boat position hold instead. Let's get to it. We're going to do 12 total, 6 per side. Push up on the right and come down on the right. Push up, come down. Make sure your hips are staying in line with your shoulders and not going up or down. You should be flat as a board here. All right, let's push up with the left arm now for 6, 5, 4, 3. Great job, guys. There's 2. And last one. Fantastic. And we're going to stretch here in child's pose for 15 seconds. Take a couple deep breaths, stretching out your lats and your lower back. Think of this as your chance to recharge your batteries as we do round 2 here in just a few seconds. Remember, you can do kneeling, full, or you can hold a boat position hold if you have a shoulder injury. Let's do 6 aside. Here we go. Up, up, down, down. Keep those hips flat. Don't be pushing your hips up towards the sky or letting your hips droop towards the floor. If you got somebody to watch your form and let you know if you're doing that, that's a great idea here. All right, we've switched sides now. Left side. This is a great way to strengthen your arms and your core at the same time. It also works a little bit of coordination. Well done. Let's stretch. Take some deep breaths and reward yourself. You're doing an awesome job and you're going to have a great workout today. I'm excited to be leading you in this workout and I appreciate you doing this workout with me. All right, up next, we've got the kettlebells. So if you don't have a kettlebell, you can use, just about anything. A milk jug that's full, a water bottle that's full. I've got a heavy kettlebell and a light kettlebell. You can also use 2 dumbbells. Here's how you start a deadlift with a kettlebell. You want to be shoulder width apart with your feet straight ahead. You'll always lift the kettlebell as if it was very heavy, even when you're moving it around. You're loading with your hips right above your knees and your shoulders just above your hips. You're gonna hinge, pushing your hips back, and then you're gonna stand, stacking your shoulders directly over your hips, squeezing your glutes and core at the top. Try to keep a neutral neck position. So you don't need to look up or down while doing these. Just keep it neutral. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings as you lower down, and then a squeeze in your glutes or your butt muscles as you stand up. Think of yourself as hinging at your hips, pushing your hips back and then forward. Try to keep your shoulders just above your hips. Well done. Let's do a forward bend to stretch out our hamstrings and lower back in between. This exercise is one of the kingpin exercises for strengthening your glutes. Great work. Now, if you don't have a weight at home, I should have showed this first. I'm sorry about that. But if you don't have a weight at home, here's an option that you can do instead. You're just gonna do a regular single leg reach, switching sides every time. So you'll do about the same repetitions as us while we do a weighted exercise. There's your alternative if you don't have weights. Let's do round 2. Hinge at the hips, exhale as you stand up. Try to be really intentional in that first repetition, as most people tend to get hurt on their first and last reps because they just don't have proper form when lifting and lowering the weight down after their set. Inhale as you stretch down, exhale as you stand tall. If you're using dumbbells, try to go just below the knees. You don't have to go all the way to the floor if you're using dumbbells. You're doing fantastic, and this is one of our key movements today. Well done. Now here we'll do a forward bend stretch to recover. 15 seconds, just breathing and reaching as close as you can towards the floor. Don't forget to be positive during this workout. If you're having a bad day, the best thing you can do is reward yourself with some positive thinking. Here's how we lift the kettlebell to move it and then lower down carefully so we don't injure ourselves. Always use proper technique, even when you're just moving weights around. All right, we're gonna do some leg lifts next. So you can place your hands on the floor and lower down slowly and controlled. You can also place your hands under your lower back if you need to. Lower down for about 2 counts, lift up for about 2 counts. You can also place your hands flat there, or if you got a table or something to hold on to, you might feel like that's the most appropriate. Let's do 12 here. Lower down for 1, 2, lift up, 1, 2. Lower down, 1, 2, lift up, 1, 2. And this is just a great way to strengthen our hip flexors and our core muscles. Try not to do these fast. You want to take your time on the way down and the way up. Place your hands in whatever position you feel the most comfortable and the most supported while you finish the set of 12. Hang in there, core. You can do it. Great job. Let's do a glute stretch in between. Cross one leg over the other at the knee and then pull that knee towards your chest. Take some deep breaths here. We'll do about 15 seconds per side. So you get a little bit longer of a rest because that core exercise is a little tougher. So you'll get a full 30-second rest. Switch legs. Again, you're just crossing one leg over the other, so your ankle's right by your knee, and you're pulling right in, right beneath your knee, pulling that leg in towards your chest. If this is too fast for you, you need to slow down or press pause. Take your time so you can get that stretch in the right way. All right, here's a variation for leg lifts. So we're just gonna get the obliques involved a little bit. So you can choose to go to the left, and then the right. So you can see I'm just kind of lifting up and rolling onto one hip. So I'm gonna go right, left, and center. And notice my arms for this one are out to my sides. My hands are in line with my shoulders. And that's just gonna give me a little bit more support as I reach side to side. So we're just gonna do 12 total repetitions, getting into different sides and angles here, just for some variety. You can opt out of this one if you can't quite get the rhythm of the lateral reaches down. Do what works best for your body today, you guys. It's your workout after all. Well done. Let's get that glute stretch in again. Round 2, cross one leg over the other and pull in just behind the knee. Take some deep, even breaths here. The stretching is our rest interval in between exercises. And it is important to do at least a little bit of rest here. I know in a lot of my videos, I don't give you guys very much rest because I'm trying to work your endurance and give you the most bang for your buck. Today, we're really gonna make sure you get 15 to 30 seconds rest between each exercise, and we're gonna optimize that time by making it a stretch. All right, now it's time for squats, because what's better for your glutes than a squat? I'm gonna grab, with proper technique, my lighter kettlebell or my lighter weight for this exercise. Okay, and here's how we're gonna lift a kettlebell up for a front squat position. I'll show you that again. I'm gonna hold the handles, lift up using my strength from my legs, and grab it by the horns or right at the base of the handle there. All right, I've got my toes slightly turned out in a wide front squat. So I'm holding the weight at my chest. And again, you can use anything to be your assistance. If you've got a child that you'd like to use as a resistance, you could use that if you don't have any weights. You could also just do this body weight. Be creative with the resistance items that you have, and don't let that stop you from getting a great workout in just because you don't have the equipment that I have. This exercise is great for your butt, your quads, and especially the inner thighs. Just carefully lower down. Always lower down carefully. And then what I want you to do now is grab something you can prop up your toes on, whether that's a wall, or I'm using my stereo here. I'm just getting a nice calf stretch. It's pretty heavy, so I can't tip it around, but a wall actually works the best here. And we're just doing a calf stretch. To get into that position, I usually squat down with my toe into the wall, and then I stand up to straighten both legs out. And you should feel this just in the back of your legs there. We're doing 15-second stretches per side. A lot of times I notice that people have really poor squat mechanics because they've got tight hips and tight calves. So be intentional to stretch those areas if you want to do good deep squats. All right, here we go with the proper lift to get that kettlebell into place in the front squat position. Feet wide, toes slightly turned out, about a 15-degree angle there. And let's just sit nice and low, working those inner thighs, or those adductors is a fancy way of saying inner thighs, our quads, and our glutes. I know that was a flurry of information to give you guys, so just finish this set nice and strong, breathing, and just being happy that you're moving today, because that sometimes is just a win in and of itself. Well done. Carefully lower down and use proper technique to place your equipment away at all times. There's our calf stretch again. If you have a foam roller nearby, maybe you're just choosing to foam roll instead. Again, take some creative liberties on these. Just because this is what I'm doing doesn't mean you can't add some fun creativity or variety into your own workout. You've got to plug into what your body feels is good for it. So if you want to make a little different change here or there, I invite you to do that. I've switched sides here. I'm on my other leg. And by all means, you can always press pause or skip ahead if you're doing an exercise that doesn't feel right for your body. Well done. All right, again, we're going to lift with proper technique to put our weights away. And let's move on to our next exercise. We're going to do a side plank reach. Here's level 1. I'm going to do this kneeling. Now notice that my shoulder, hips, and knees are all in line. You don't want your knees in front of your hips for this. Here's level 2, and we're going to start our counting right here. 12 reps per side. I'm reaching into my back pocket with my opposite arm. And if you had a yardstick from my elbow down to my ankle, it would, all my body parts would stay behind that yardstick. So you want to make sure you're making straight lines in level 1 or level 2. Now you might be thinking, Beck, I've got a shoulder injury. I can't do planks. Well, that's fine. You can hold a glute bridge. You could do a boat hold again, or you could substitute your favorite core exercise here instead. Let's switch sides there. It's husband saying hello, Coach Elliott. All right, get set up. You can do level 1 here. Right, there's level 1. See how everything's in line? My knees are in line with my hips. And here's level 2. Let's do 12 of these. Even breathing here as we rotate and reach into that back pocket, strengthening those core muscles, but maintaining tight quads and tight glutes so that we're in a stable side plank position. Inhale and exhale. Remember, you always have control of your breath. No matter how hard an exercise may seem, that's something you always have control of. Well done. We're going to do a standing quad stretch now. So grab your ankle and hold on to something if it's going to give you a sense of support so you can focus just on stretching out those quads and hip muscles. We're going to do 15 seconds per side, just a simple quad stretch here. Or if you'd like to substitute a favorite stretch of yours, you may do that. We've switched sides here. Another stretch, deep, even breathing, a little chance to recover from those side planks. All right, let's do round 2 here. Level 1 or level 2. I'm gonna go right into level 2 here. Let's do 12 per side. And of course, we'll go back to that quad stretch after this. You're doing awesome out there, guys. I just want to be a source of light and encouragement for you today. I'm just happy that you're doing this workout with me. Don't be afraid to share this with your friends or family members. It's a resource that I'm happy to provide during this time of uncertainty and kind of a little bit of chaos. Switch sides here. Just know you're treating your body well and respectfully, and you're just doing everything you can to get through these days. And I'm really proud of you for that. So well done. Life can surely be stressful. Working out is a stress on the body, a healthy stress, but a stress that we need to respect nonetheless. So I'm happy that you're exercising and moving in a healthy way and stressing your body with respect and moving well with intention. It's always a good thing. Well done. Okay, let's do a quad stretch here. Let's respect our body, respect that we need to do stretching, keep our body moving limber and strong and injury-free. Deep breaths here. Think about something you've accomplished in the last week or month. You know me, caffeine queen. I'm gonna take this opportunity. I've been eyeing my coffee. I love to drink coffee while I'm exercising. I'm not sure if most fitness professionals would recommend that, but I certainly do it. So who am I to not recommend it? Of course, you might need to grab water here too, and that's a fine option. Whatever's gonna help fuel you through the rest of this session. We've got tripods coming up next. So take a seat on your butt, knees bent, pressing one hand straight up towards the ceiling, and then switching hands. So you've always got one hand on the ground and both feet on the ground. A little bit of a crotch shot here. Sorry about that, but here's just what it looks like from the front. Notice that, see how I'm pushing my hand straight up to the ceiling? You're not reaching across your body at all. You're actually naturally rotating just by the nature of the movement, which is great for your spine, your thoracic spine. It's good for your shoulders and your shoulder stability. And even more importantly, it's strengthening your glutes and your core muscles. So I just find this to be a really functional movement pattern for any athlete or really just any adult. Anyone that's maybe getting up to their senior years, you might be worried about falling and hurting yourself and being able to get up off the floor. This is a great way to start beginning some fall prevention training too for down the road. Hey, we're all gonna get older, right? All right, lean back, point the toes, and we're holding a 90-degree angle at our hips. This is a boat position hold. So sometimes I refer to this as a plank on steroids. You can work for half the time and get almost double the bang for your buck here, but planks are great too, right? So we're just holding for 30 seconds, shoulders back, toes pointed. Again, 90 degrees from the hips to the shoulders. Try to keep those shoulders rolled back. You want to have good posture here. Woo, well done. And we're not going to stretch in between these. We're getting to the end of our workout now. I just want to get these last few exercises in. So we're going right into those second set of tripods. This should feel like it opens up your hips after holding that boat hold. You're in hip flexion for the boat hold, which just means you're kind of bending at your hips, whereas we're doing hip extension here, or we're lengthening our hips. And typically I've noticed that humans have chronically tight hip flexors, so I'll save you a bunch of money on physical therapy here and just let you know you need to keep your hip flexors loose and do a lot of hip extension exercises that train the back side of your body. And that's what today's all about. Just a good balanced functional workout for the glutes and core muscles. And here's that second set of 30-second boat holds. Lean back, 90 degrees at the hips. If you feel like you need a break halfway at that 15-second mark, take a break. I'd rather you have good quality form than pushing yourself through something that could lead to an injury. So keep those shoulders pulled back, keep that core nice and taut. We're almost through our workout today, guys, and I'm so proud of you and pumped for you that you've gotten this far with me. Almost there. Keep holding, keep pushing. Good. All right, now we're gonna need that chair or bench. This is the only exercise we're using it for, so if you don't have one at home, you can sub out lunges to balance for this instead. So what we're gonna do is step up and just stand on the bench, or level 2, step up directly into balance. Now when I come down, I try not to plant my back heel. One of my earliest strength coaches taught me that while it's good to do heavy weighted step ups, there's a time and a place for that where you'll fully plant your foot. I enjoy using my hip flexors to control my body weight down, barely touch my toe back as if I'm dipping in cold water, and then really forcing my quads and glutes to do the work to innovate, to cause or innervate the next movement. So my right leg is doing all the work, not gravity, and I'm definitely not pushing off my left leg to power my step up. I'm forcing my quads, glutes, and hip flexors to do the work. Switch sides, and remember, if you can't go right into that balance point like I am here, you can just stand on the bench like I demonstrated before. And again, if you don't have a chair or bench, just do some lunges here. Reverse lunge, try to stand up and balance there. That's a way to do this without any equipment. Use control. If you need to slow down or pause to get your balance back, that's fine. Tap the toe down, stand up tall. Think about squeezing your core and using your breath. Inhale, exhale, stand up. That should help you with some of the stability pieces. We're doing 12 per side here. Well done. Now we're going to do butterfly sit-ups, which is just feet together, knees out, laying flat. And if you can't do a full sit-up, you can either do a crunch or you can do a butterfly glute bridge where you just press your hips up off the floor in this same position. Feet together, knees out. And what this does is it gives our hip flexors a little bit of a stretch. Takes a little bit of that pressure in the hip flexors out. So it's a good variation of a sit-up. I know sit-ups get a bad rep. And if you don't feel like doing sit-ups here, do the butterfly glute bridge instead. That's a great way to strengthen the backside of your body and stretch your hips out. So the butterfly position, just opening up those hips, and both variations will work your core. And guys, these are our last 2 exercises. So I'm so thrilled that we're getting this far together, that we've had a productive session, that we've been functional, that we've strengthened key muscles, that we've done single leg exercises and balance exercises and just been functional. Here we go. Again, here's level 1, step up, or level 2, step up to balance. This is our second set of 12. Remember, use control. Don't let gravity pull you down. Don't get lazy where you just stomp on the floor and then use your non-balancing leg to push off of. We want to take that push off out of the picture. So my left leg really isn't helping out at all. My right leg is doing all of the work. If you're somebody that really wants to grow your quads or your quad strength, maybe you add weight and plant your foot fully. Like I said, there's a time and a place for just about every exercise and every execution of every exercise. So no absolutes in my book. Everything has a time and a place. Let's switch sides and finish this strong. I'll admit step-ups aren't my favorite exercise, but as a runner, it's pretty sport specific to me, and it works on balance. It'll help me with cycling, getting stronger on the bike. It is important to strengthen your quads and your hip flexors just as much as you strengthen your hamstrings and glutes. So you want to be balanced from the front to the back. That's why I always try to do an exercise for the back side of my body if I do an exercise for the front side of my body. Very good. You're doing a great job controlling your movement, forcing your brain and body to connect for good balancing and the right muscles to work there. So good stuff. Let's do one more round of butterfly sit-ups, or if you'd prefer to do butterfly bridges to open up your hips and use your butt muscles more, just lift your hips in the same position instead of doing the sit-up. I mean, that's a great way to make this workout your own and just think, hey, what does my body need more of today? Does it need more training for the backside, more on the front? You can pull that audible based on how you're feeling in this day. And maybe if you do this workout again, you modify some more based on how you feel on that day. A mature athlete and client can communicate that to themselves and say, hey, I'm going to be autonomous. I'm going to make this decision because I know that's what's best for me. Very good. We're almost done today, guys, so I'm almost sad this workout's coming to a close. I've enjoyed it so much, and I hope you do too. Be sure to share it with somebody, share the blessing, share the resource, and enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing. I hope it's a blessed day. I appreciate you coming here and joining me for this workout. You're done. Great job. And I just want to take a moment, a personal moment, to dedicate this to the memory of my beloved and very special grandpa, my Papa Don, who taught me everything I know about working hard and being a good person. His favorite quote of mine recently, he let me know, don't try to change anybody, but instead try to help everybody. And of course, always, my Papa would say, obey all 10 commandments. One being honor your father and mother. I'll miss you, Papa Don, and I love you.